Jai Shri Krishna, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Shri Vasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So good morning, everyone. We're going to continue from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, text 8. I'm sorry, chapter 8, text 12. Does anyone remember the main point of yesterday?
Hare Krishna. So we heard Lord's glories. He's the supreme being. He's the time factor. He's the supreme controller, and he's the master of all the senses. He's the strength of the senses, strength of the mind, bodily strength, and he's Indriya himself. He's senses himself. Rishikesh, she's master of the senses, and that he's the spiritual energy in everywhere, pervading all over. And then we heard Prahlad Maharaj once again, saying how we can worship the Lord perfectly by giving up the demonic mentality, not to discriminate, and conquer the uncontrolled mind and senses. It begins with our lusty desires, anger, greed, illusion, madness, to jealousy. So he's requesting all the demons to be equipoised to all the living entities. Hiranyakashipu, to be equipoised to all living entities. And then we also read about how Hiranyakashipu is addressed as Shri, because he is blessed and fortunate to have a great devotee son as Prahlad Maharaj. So that's what we've been hearing yesterday.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
So, how would our mind, yesterday Prahlad Maharaj was also saying that there's no enemy except our own mind and senses. Yesterday, because his main focus was don't look at as enemy and friend. The only enemy is our mind and senses. So, what do you all think? How is it that our own mind and senses is our enemies? Why
We
is
are
he
acting
saying
in the
that?
modes of nature, right? And yeah, so if we are keeping the Krishna in center, we can control it. We will see everyone equally.
So
And
how is it that our mind and our senses is our enemy? That's what Prahlad Maharaj was saying. That's
because
the
we are in
only enemy.
illusion, because we are in illusion, and
Mm,
that's how it becomes our enemy. I mean, we are not seeing the real truth, the absolute truth.
mm. And so then
And
how
then
does our mind and senses become our enemy?
we have lusty desires,
Mm,
because we are seeing
yeah.
everything and that's
Mm,
not real, and we come to believe so many things. Its
that's
mind
right.
is just going haywire, everywhere. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Thank you. So
Hare
then
Krishna, Shilpaji, you also
Hare
mentioned one
Krishna.
more point that when you get what you want, you become more greedy,
Yeah.
and when you don't get it, then you become angry.
Yeah.
So in any condition, it doesn't let you free until you just surrender on the lotus feet of Krishna and you just serve him.
Mm,
Yeah.
thank you. Any
Yeah.
more?
Hare Krishna. No, that's it. She said,
Mm,
"Oh, yeah, she said it perfectly." Hare
Yeah, so
Krishna.
Sneha, any
it's the
more?
jealousy. I think it's the
Mm,
jealousy, the anger,
jealousy.
right?
Mm,
Anger and greed. Yeah, like how Neha said, when
yeah.
we desire something and we get it, but we still want more, so the greed comes in, and
Yeah.
then from greed, then what was it? Those five things, na?
Illusion.
Illusion. Yeah, we get to illusion, and then the jealousy. Right?
Jealousy. Yeah. That's right. Okay. Thank you all. So we'll continue. But so, we can see that because we trust our mind and our senses so much, and Prahlad Maharaj is saying actually it's our own mind and our senses that is our enemy. Because we put ourselves in the center, we've taken Krishna out of the center. So what we need to do is we need to put Krishna back in the center of our life. And that's how we will be able to fix our mind on Krishna. Because right now the center is us. I'm going to do this because this will make me happy. I'm going to do this because my senses will enjoy in this way. But if we put Krishna in the center, then we can control our mind and senses. Then we can control our envy, lust, greed, anger, all those things. Yeah, and then we will be able to see everyone equally, no enemy, no friend, because then we are going to see everyone in relation to Krishna. Until the time we don't put Krishna in the center, our mind and our senses are our enemies then. Okay, so we'll continue today. Text 12. Yas tvaya manda bhagyoto
Yastvaya mandabhagyokto
So,
mad anyo jagadishvaraha.
mat anyo jagat ishvara
Vaso yadi sa sarvatra
vaso yadi sa sarvatra
tasmat stambena drishyate.
tastambena drishyate.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Is my screen all right? You all can see it all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So, oh most unfortunate Prahlad, you have always described a supreme being other than me, a supreme being who is above everything, who is the controller of everyone, and who is all pervading. But where is he? If he is everywhere, then why is he not present before me in this pillar? So now he's saying a supreme being other than me. In some ways, aren't we like that? In our mind, we may think, we don't openly say it, of course, but we may sometimes think, that I am the controller. So demons sometimes declare to a devotee that they cannot accept the existence of God because they cannot see him. But what the demon does not know is stated by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita 7:25. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritaha. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by yoga maya. So why? Why the Lord is open to being seen by devotees, but non-devotees cannot see him? Why is that?
They are an illusion.
Yeah, but why the Lord is saying the non-devotees cannot see me?
because they love him, the devotees love him, and they serve him with
Yeah.
faith.
Yeah.
Because the
That's
devotees
right.
could have put Krishna in the center. Well,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah. The devotees put Krishna in the center, they love him, and the non-devotees, they don't want to see Krishna. They don't have the desire to see Krishna. So that's why Krishna covers himself for them. So the devotees can see him as stated in Brahma Samhita 5:38, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochenena, Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. A devotee who has developed a genuine love for Krishna can always see him everywhere, whereas a demon, not having a clear understanding of the Supreme Lord, cannot see him. When Hiranyakashipu was threatening to kill Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad certainly saw the column standing before him and his father, and he saw that the Lord was present in the pillar to encourage him not to fear his demoniac father's words. The Lord was present to protect him. Hiranyakashipu marked Prahlad's observation and asked him, "Where is your God?" Prahlad Maharaj replied, "He is everywhere." Then Hiranyakashipu asked, "Why is he not in this pillar before me?" Thus, in all circumstances, the devotee can always see the Supreme Lord, whereas the non-devotee cannot. So Prahlad, he has love for Krishna, so he can see Krishna everywhere. Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. Prahlad Maharaj has here been addressed by his father as the most unfortunate. Hiranyakashipu thought himself extremely fortunate because he possessed the property of the universe. Prahlad Maharaj was his legitimate son. His legitimate son was to have inherited this vast property. But because of his impudence, he was going to die at his father's hands. Therefore, the demoniac father considered Prahlad the most unfortunate because Prahlad would not be able to inherit his property. So, who was actually unfortunate and who is actually fortunate?
Prahlad is the most fortunate.
Yeah, actually, he is the most fortunate. So Hiranyakashipu did not know that Prahlad Maharaj was the most fortunate person within the three worlds because Prahlad was protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You know, what greater fortune. The Lord is personally protecting him. He was gonna be killed so many times, but Krishna was there each time to protect him. Such are the misunderstandings of demons. They do not know that a devotee is protected by the Lord in all circumstances. Kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhakta pranashyate. So devotee is most fortunate because he is in relationship with Krishna. So ham vikatha manasya
So aham vikatham manasya
Soham vikatsamanasya
shira kaya dharamite
shirakaya
shirakaya
dharamite
gopayeta haristwadya
gopayeta haristvadya
yaste sharanam ipsitam.
Yaste
te sharanam ipsitam.
Because you are speaking so much nonsense, I shall now sever your head from your body. Now let me see your most worshipable God come to protect you. I want to see it. Demons always think that the God of the devotees is fictitious. They think that there is no God and that the so called religious feeling of devotion to God is but an opiate, a kind of illusion, like the illusions derived from LSD and opium. Hiranyakashipu did not believe Prahlad Maharaj when Prahlad asserted that his Lord is present everywhere. Because Hiranyakashipu, as a typical demon, was convinced that there is no God and that no one could protect Prahlad, he felt encouraged to kill his son. He challenged the idea that the devotee is always protected by the Supreme Lord. So we can see the difference of opinion, the difference in the thinking between the demon and the devotee. Devotee is always seeing Krishna, demon can never accept the existence of Krishna. Evam durukter muhur ardayan rusha
Evam
Durukte mahur adayashtam
sutam mahabhagavatam mahasuraha
Sutam
tam
Mahabhagavatam
mahabhagavatam mahasuraha
khadgam pragriya yot patito barasanat.
Khadgam
Khadgam
pragriyato patito
patito
varasana
bhasanat
Stambam tatadadibalaha swamushtina.
Sambham
Stambham
tatadi
Ibal
Swamushtina.
Swamushtina.
Being obsessed with anger, Hiranyakashipu, who was very great in bodily strength, thus chastised his exalted devotee son Prahlad with harsh words. Cursing him again and again, Hiranyakashipu took up his sword, got up from his royal throne, and with great anger struck his fist against the column. So much anger, so much pride. Tadeva tasmin nadoti bhishano.
Tadev Nimbadoti Bhishano
Babhuva yenandakataham asfutat.
Vabhuvena Andakataham Asputat
Yam vai swadhishnyo pagatam tva ajadayaha.
Yam
Swadishnu
Upagatam Tu Adayaha
Shrutva swadhamat yayam angamenire.
Shrutva Swadharma
Atayayam Avigaменire.
Then from within the pillar came a fearful sound which appeared to crack the covering of the universe. O my dear Yudhishthir, the sound reached even the abodes of the demigods like Lord Brahma. And when the demigods heard it, they thought, oh, now our planets are being destroyed. As we sometimes become very much afraid at the sound of a thunderbolt, perhaps thinking that our houses will be destroyed, the great demigods like Lord Brahma feared the thundering sound that came from the pillar in front of Hiranyakashipu. So, what's going to happen with this thunder? Is the universe going to be destroyed?
No,
No,
it will be
that's right.
protected.
Yeah, it'll be protected. This fearful sound. It's true. Sometimes when there is very loud thunder sound or something, it is scary. I don't know if you all have heard it.
Yeah, always. Even the lightning. Sometimes when there is
Lightning.
such a bad lightning, it is scary sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or sometimes like some loud noises there, we get scared. So here the noise is so loud, so much. Savikraman patravadhe pisur ojasa.
So
Savikraman Putra Vadespur Ojasa
Nishamya nirshadam apurvam adbhutam.
Nisham Hadam
Apurvam
Adbhutam
Anta sabhayam nadadarsha tadpadam.
Anta
Sabhayam
Nadadansutatpadam
Vitatra suryena surari yutha paha.
Tatra Surye
Vittatrasuryan
Paha.
While showing his extraordinary prowess, Hiranyakashipu, who desired to kill his own son, heard that wonderful tumultuous sound which had never before been heard. Upon hearing the sound, the other leaders of the demons were afraid. None of them could find the origin of that sound in the assembly. Purport in Bhagavad Gita 7.8, Krishna himself explains himself by saying, Rasoham apsu kaunteya, prabhasmi shashi suryayo, pranava sarva vedeshu, shabda ke paurusham rishu. O son of Kunti Arjun, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. Here the Lord exhibited his presence everywhere by the tumultuous sound in the sky, Shabda Ke. So Krishna is saying, I am the sound in ether. Sound. Krishna is saying, I am the sound. Sound is his energy. Ability in man. Each of us have our own abilities in different ways. These abilities are given to us by Krishna. Taste of water. We are thirsty, we need water. No matter, you can drink a very fancy drink, but the taste of water and light of the sun and moon, so important for us to survive. Syllable Om, that is representing Krishna. So the tumultuous thundering sound was proof of the Lord's presence. The demons like Hiranyakashipu could now realize the supreme ruling power of the Lord. And thus Hiranyakashipu became afraid. However powerful a man may be, he always fears the sound of a thunderbolt. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu and all the demons who were his associates were extremely afraid because of the presence of the Supreme Lord. I'm sorry, in the form of sound, although they could not trace out the source of the sound. So this tumultuous sound we get afraid of, thunder sound, that is Krishna. Seems everyone gets afraid, no matter how powerful one is. Okay.
Hare Krishna. So does the devotee also get afraid of this sound? I mean, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, depends, If he's really surrendered to Krishna, he won't be. Because then he will be like, okay, Krishna's always protecting me. It would just depend on one's surrender, right? But I think it's like also a very natural instinct for the general person to be afraid of the sound,
It's
of a
natural,
loud
yeah.
sound. Yeah, it's a very natural instinct to be really afraid when you hear something very loud because you're not expecting it. But yeah, really a pure devotee, like when Prabhupada, the bombs were being thrown in Calcutta, and the bombs were being thrown, people were telling him, evacuate, evacuate. He was not disturbed. He said, if the bomb is going to come in the form of Krishna, has to kill, it will kill me. He was doing his bhajan. He was continuing with his devotional service.
Totally surrendered.
Totally surrendered. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada was like on a
Yeah.
transcendental platform. So, you'll want to do one more or stop here?
I think, Shilpaji, we can stop here. This is a
Okay.
little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. Did anyone want to add anything? Any comments?
About what you said about Prabhupada, he was also making puris.
Yeah,
And he was serving the
that's what
yeah,
he was making
he didn't.
puris, right? That's what
Yeah,
I was not very sure.
he was making puris and he was serving prasadam to everybody. And he said, don't bother, it's okay. Anywhere, even if you go out, it's going to be there, even inside. So what it is, if we have to, then we have to. So yeah, this incident was really so.
Yeah,
Even when I
thank
read
you.
first, I was amazed. I couldn't believe that, there was
Right?
someone like this. Yeah.
If
They're
it was
just,
us, we will immediately run for shelter, right?
yes,
That's,
absolutely.
Yeah, he's feeding everybody first. Yeah, you have food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Wow. Thank you for this.
So, thank you all. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.